welcome back to the channel. My name is Deborah, aka the Sunset Girl Creates, and today we're back to doing the silhouette. So what we're doing is we're putting our Flourish Coffin box together. This one I went ahead and did the bends early before, only because, let me show you, when you're bending and you have these really small lines right here, you want to be very careful on these bends, because sometimes it can bend. And I have one that did it like this angle here, this one here, this one really bent up. So it can be difficult to get those bends done and do it correctly. So I went ahead and got those done previous to us putting this together, as well as what we'll be doing next is I'm going to do a second video for the graveyard today so that we can get back on schedule. So you'll get a video uploaded today from that I did yesterday, and then you'll have this video tomorrow, and you'll have the graveyard the following day. So that'll give me back my 2 days. So I'm trying to get caught back up on the 2 days. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're using the EC basket again. I'm going to go ahead and use the nail glue on these again, because since these are such small areas, we really need a fast drying quick glue. So see how that is, and we're just going to pull this around, and you want to make sure you get it all lined up nice and square, and then put it together. That way when you're putting the black on top of the purple, it fits squarely and nicely. And what I do a lot of times is, in order to get these little areas and make sure that they stick down, I'll roll a tool that has like a rolled end to try to get it to connect. So let's go ahead and put glue on this side. So yeah, I've been watching the Halloween Baking Championship. That's been a lot of fun, especially since I'm doing a lot of Halloween decorations right now. So that's going to be fun. I need to use this and pull it in so I can get a nice strong, and that gives you something. So if you sit here and you like put it in on the edge, you can press really nice and strong on there, and you're not going to lose your angle, right? Because that's what we were trying to do. This one was a little messed up, so it is a little off, but when it has the black over it, I don't think that part will be that noticeable, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little glue on this corner, and I'm going to carefully line it up. And then I'm going to put my pen back in here and use my pen to help me make sure that's good and solid in. And I can do a quick check, and yes, it's in there nicely. So we want to go over here and glue this. And I know that this is pretty basic stuff. Most people can do it. The reason I started out with basic is because there's a lot of people out there that may not have ever used a silhouette in their lives, right? Or even a Cricut. They don't know what they are. So I want to make sure that people know what products are out there, right? What can you do with the products that you have? We all have everyday products that we have in our house, right? And so what can we use those products that we have in the everyday house, excuse me, to enrich our crafting, right? So what I'll do is for our next session, I'm going to bring in some enhancements, and I actually might bring in a little enhancements for this one because I want to take and do some glitter work on the filigree. So it's really a flourish, but it's a lot like a filigree. So I really like that it is more of a filigree. I like that design. I'm trying to get this out so that I can get it in and get a good grip as I seal it. But I need to get glue on it first without bending it the wrong way or not being able to line it up properly. So we'll do our last hold. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to reach over to my glitter drawer. I've got everything moved around right now. And I'm going to find my black glitter. If I've got any more left. It's black. I don't have black, but I have this really cool stickles, and it's called crushed pineapple, and that's going to be a perfect color to kind of bring out the black and the purple. Do we want that, or let me see. I wish I could just bring the whole container. That's like a silky orange. I don't want pearl. Is that okay? Here's the other stick. Oh no, that's the pink. It's the pink flamingo. Ah, here we go. Or we have orange slice. I'm just trying to shake them up. They've been in the drawer for a little while. All of my stickles sit down in this direction. Stickles is the only glitter glue that I use. It's for acid free. It's non-toxic, and it's specifically for paper crafting, okay? It's non-settling, so whatever way you put it in, it goes down. And it's got an easy flow tip. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do some with the yellow and some with the orange. So I thought, we haven't done anything special. I'm going to cover our glue. And the thing is, I like to do my glitter work on it before I actually do the gluing together, because I can get a better hold on it. So I'm going to do these outside edges here, and I'm just going to do a little glitter here and see how that just kind of brings out some little fun stuff going on here. So that's really what I'm trying to do, right? I'm just trying to get a nice pretty flow on our filigree so it's not just plain black, right? And so what I'll do is we'll go through, and as we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and finish all of our yellow, and then I'll do the orange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the yellow here on the edges. So these edges will all be the yellow stickles, and then on the inside I'll do the orange stickles. Oh, I found a piece of paper. See, and this is something else you want to double check. Is see, I missed getting one of these out. So I now got it. So that's a really nice way of being able to check it, is by using your glitter a little bit. And I don't want a big blob of glitter on it. Now I did put the blob right there, but that was like a loop-de-loop, and I might do a little bit more on these little areas here just to give it a little extra boost. So like here, we'll give it a little extra more than we're going to put over here. And that just kind of enhances it. And all I'm doing is creating a template that I got from somebody else. And by the way, this one, let me see. Let me put my password in here so I can tell you who created this one. This one is, ooh, I'm going to have to go look it up. Okay, so I'll have to go into the design store and look it up to see whose design this is. And we'll make sure that we get it in our slide, and I'll make sure that I go in there once, because I'm going to have to let this glitter dry a little. Ooh, there's another piece that was missing. See, and I have this little piece right here that didn't come out. Where's my tweezers? And I'm going to try to get it to come out without ripping it, which I just did, part of it, but that's okay. I'm not ripping the design, I just ripped the piece I'm pulling out. There we go. And there, that's gone. So that's the nice part about doing something like this. You can double check to make sure you got all the cut pieces out. And with something like this that's integral, you might have missed something. So just be careful, keep your eyes open, keep them so you can see what's going on, but yet make it beautiful, right? Now, I could have done this by, I have glitter papers that I can cut that actually already have built-in adhesive. I could have used some of those. I don't know that I would have had enough to do all the same color for all of the sides, and but it's something that we can think of in the future to use if we want to add some flourish to something. So you may just want to add a little spunk to something, right? Give it a little kick. And there's nothing wrong with doing that give it a little kick thing, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a beautiful thing to give your paper a little bounce, right? And that's why I'm a glitter fan. I mean, I if you look in anywhere in my house, it's always sparkly and glittery, and like my nails, I just redid them. I took some that I got on the internet and I added additional glitter so that glitter had made it a little bit better. I mean, I added just different glitters to them because I have a bunch of glitter fingernail polish that I can use. And so I was just trying to enhance them last night. And then this morning when I got up, I saw these and I couldn't wait to put them on. So instead of diamond painting this morning, I took the time to remove my old nails and put new ones on, which was, for me, that's a treat, right? I don't get to go get my nails done a lot, or I don't get to get them done at all now. So whatever I get is what I do at home, right? So I figured I'd get a bunch, and so I get them in these big packs, right? They come like this. So my nails come like this. And this is the color that they were. But when I wore the pink ones, I realized that the glitter was falling off. So I decided to put different colored glitters on to kind of make them better. So I'm saving these for Halloween. But I have a whole bunch. I mean, they come like that. I have probably about 500 separate nails. I have them like that, and then I have kits that they come in. This one, I also have some that comes in a pouch. So it came in a plastic container with a bunch of different ones. They just have clear coat on them yet. I have not put another coat of glitter. I didn't think about that until after I was done with that batch. So I will finish off that batch probably tonight when I go and get into bed, because I did it last night when I was in bed because I had nothing better to do. Okay, let me see if this is, pick this up. Okay, see how nicely that's turning out? And I'm okay with the extra glitter on there. So what I'll do is I'll just take a rag, tissue. Where are my, I had new, they're over here, right? Yes, okay. I use sanitizing wipes that I get at I think these ones came from Dollar General. I either go to Dollar General or Family Dollar. And I need to get them. There's a little, there it is. Did not want to come up. And I get 40 of them for $1. So I usually buy 3 or 4 packs at a time, and I keep them up on my shelf so that anytime I'm working, all I have to do is use that, and whatever I got on my mat is now gone. And it dries quickly, evaporates quickly, so it's not going to leave my mat wet. It is basically the same kind of wipes that you use on your babies. If you're a mother or father, if you're not, maybe you're an aunt and an uncle or something, and you, or a niece or nephew, and you've been a brother and sister, something. You've seen diaper baby wipes before, right? You have cousins or something. Anyways, that's all they basically are, and they're really good craft cleaners. You know, I can use them to clean a lot of things, right? Clean up things that may not have gotten cleaned up, or, you know, I like to use them to, after crafting, instead of going in and soaking my hands in water, I'd rather use a sanitizing napkin to get most of it off before I actually go into the bathroom to do that. So let's get this last section. And actually, before I do the last section, so that I'm not putting my hand in glitter, I'm going to go ahead and let those sides continue to dry. And that yellow almost turned into a green on the black, huh? So we're using orange slice stickles on this one. So we're going to do this. And it's got such a fine tip that you can really do fine detail. I'm very much onto doing the fine detail like this. That didn't do very well, but we'll have a little. The nice thing is I'm doing it on my mat, so if anything gets over the edge, it's not going to hurt anything, right? So I just want to make sure that when I do these, really, because what this is going to do as well, because glitter, this is a glue as well, this is going to stiffen this up, and it's not going to be so fragile while we're why it's out and about, right? While you've got it on your table, it's not going to be so fragile, right? So it's actually a benefit to do something like this when you do have something fragile, because look how beautiful it's going to look when we're all done, right? And it's just going to be gorgeous. I have lots of colors, lots of fun, lots of things coming. I have a bunch of feathers I want to start putting on things. I'm probably going to put real feathers on our hat, and in addition to the glitter ones that I cut, just to add a little freshness to it. A little, you know, reality, bring in some texture to it, bring in some different design elements, right? So that's what I like to do. I like to investigate and find different textures. I have lots of different things to use for textures. I like to go through like Michael's, and you know where they have the rocks in their shells, and I love going through that section and looking for all the fun things that I can use for different kinds of things, right? So like for this, I think enough is glitter, right? By putting the glitter on this one, we're giving it some strength that it can use. as well as adding some beauty and simplicity to it and add some texture, right? I'm a very big texture girl. I love to have texture. So just the texture of glitter can add texture to your piece, right? Because glitter has texture. Glitter are little flakes, and they're little flakes of iridescent paper that are cut super small and are put into bottles of glue for us to use, right? And trust me, this is not glue you want to use to seal and put your pieces together, okay? This is a decorative thing only. I mean, if you want to do it, but it's going to be an expensive glue. I mean, stickles, I usually get them 10 for $1 or 10 for $10. I look for deals and to find them. And so I've spent many years perfecting my crafting skills and perfecting different things that I've learned. And I want to do for Christmas, I'm going to do some printing and cutting. And we're going to put together a big snowman, a 2-foot snowman for my living room. And I think I'm going to actually do a snowman and a snow woman. And I have the patterns. I just have to pull them out. So I do a lot of print and cut. I have a sheet, a special pad that they go on. And I'll show you here in a minute once I get this orange done, because I'm almost done. But it's a special pad that lets the light icon focus in and then take the design, and it'll cut the design right on the lines that you put it on. So that's why I always set everything up for line, because I want a nice tight line without leaving the white paper behind, right? It is going to be a little bit more work because I no longer have my 12-inch printer. But I know how to put together the papers on 9.5 and 11 because that's how I started originally. So it won't be too bad of an issue. Let me just see what's under here and how much of a gaudy mess. Okay, it's not too bad. And see, so we really, what it is really there's just a little bit on the back of here. So let's go like this, and I'm just going to, oops. Fix that, because now it's decided it wants, there we go. It wants to turn. Let's see if I, okay, there we go. I brought some more of that back on there. Okay, so let's make sure that that's away from all that extra glitter. And we lay it down in a place that's dry. There we go. Now that'll set. Once it sets, it's not going to do that again. It just, what it is the paper's gotten damp from the glue. And so it does take time for it to dry. Like, this is still wet, this is still wet. So what I'll have to do is I will still work with it when it's damp. But normally I would let it set out for 24 hours to get a good dry before I put it together. And that's only to make sure that it doesn't fall apart, right? Because these are so small and intricate that they could fall apart if you're not careful. And having wet paper, you have to be really careful because you're going to end up with, it's not as strong until it dries, right? So it's really easy paper to rip, right? And we don't want our paper to rip because we put the glitter on. So I'm going to be really careful as we go on the glitter. And putting it together. It will be a careful thing because we've got to be careful not to touch our glitter. And then I'll let it set. Once I'm done, it can set up on the table just fine by itself, and then it will be just fine. We're almost done here. So yeah, are you enjoying the silhouette features? Let me know below. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. And we're back. We have all of our glitter dried, and it's now we can see that it stays up on its own. See? And that was really what the glitter was to do. It was kind of to help it lay flat and kind of give it a little tiny bit of movement, right? Because we want a little bit of movement in it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get started on gluing this together now. And like I do all the pieces, we'll just put a little bit on that one. And let's start gluing together, right? Making it into the top of the coffin. So as we go, we want to make sure that we keep bending our lines so that we get a nice straight lay down, right? So we want it to lay straight. And this will all start laying down once we get these big pieces into place. So first things I want to do is make sure that I get the two sides done. So let's go ahead and bend these in. And we have to be really careful when we're bending those because we want to ensure that we're keeping them straight, right? We've already got the lines bent, but we just really need to make sure that those lines are going to stay straight when we do this, right? Because we're going to eventually want this to sit straight, right? So if you set it up originally to be straight, then you'll get straight when you get done. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit more glue on here and get a nice sheen, and let's fold that in, making sure we get on the dotted lines. You can feel the heat where it's activating. Okay, so now we have those two. Now we're going to work on this section. So I'm going to do my folds again to make sure I have a nice straight fold so that it stays nice and square, because we want that to stay nice and square when we fold it down, right? So we're going to glue this side, put a little bit of glue and squeeze, and then push it along. Yes, I find songs I sing to myself. I don't know where they come from. I'm sorry. So there's that one. I hear the heat activating, and now I want to just kind of make sure that I push it down, and so we got a nice straight line here. I'll pull this on the inside so I can get the glue on here so that I don't pull it out of the area, right? We want to kind of keep it straight as we go. This is the important part, that we keep straight as we go, because if it's not straight as we go, it's not going to sit properly on our coffin. So we should be able to get it now to where it's going to sit just on top of our coffin. And there we go. So then it's going to sit like that, right? And that's going to be the final product. We just have to get these last two in. I might have to lay something on this, but I don't think so. I kind of like how it has its own life and movement to it. This one I want to be really careful with because I don't want it to break. So if it is up a little bit, that's fine with me. So let's go ahead and get our last two sections done. We're going to go ahead and push these in for a minute so that we can get a nice straight fold down here, right? Make sure our fold is good and tight and straight. And now we're going to make sure our folds here are straight and our folds here are straight, because if they're straight there, they're going to be straight when we connect them. So let's go ahead and run a little glue here, and we're going to connect the side. And there we go. Nice straight firm, and there's glue coming out and I'm sticking all over it. Hold on a second. I'm trying to remove it so that I don't take anything from the design. And you do have to be careful when you are using super glue on this. I'm using super glue because it's a fast drying glue, and when I'm trying to put things together, when I have a fast drying glue, it helps. Except you want to make sure that as soon as you seal, you're in the right spot when you seal down, right? So now we can just kind of go through and make sure all our connections are good, right? Make sure all our connections are good. Make sure our lines are good and straight, and let's get this back on here. So what I found when I was putting it through is making sure that once I get it on, I have these three lined up, and once I do, it tends to slide right on, and we'll do the same with it here, and there we go. And our coffin is all done, right? And I'll do something to fix those purple so that they don't pop out on us going forward. But I mean, that doesn't actually look too bad though to myself. It's kind of cool looking how it's got those purple coming out. Kind of gives it like I'm gonna hold you up a little bit. So it kind of gives it a neat look. And then we have each side has their design in the yellow that tended to turn green, huh? Okay, so it's like a green. I know it says crushed pineapple. I thought it does have a lot of yellow flake in it, but it does have green. So that's fine. We've got one done. I really like how the orange turned out. Didn't it turn out nice? There's some nice areas that have some black popping out. So see, you can see where the thicker areas were here, but then you could see where I thinned it out down here to kind of give it that old antique-y look. And so I think we've got a really good representation of our coffin. So we'll get that one done. And I think we're only a few minutes in on this, so that's done. So with that said, we've now got this complete. We've done our spider coffin. We've done our witches' hats. And can you see all this? Yes. And we've already got our coffin wreath done. Now here's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe we could add some glitter to our coffin wreath. We'd come out with probably this color. And so I'm thinking it might be a little different because I'm going to be putting it on the orange. So we might get a little different. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see how that's going to turn out. Part of crafting and part of this designing part that I do is really just me looking at what I've got and what products I have and what I'm looking at, and how can I enhance the paper to look beautiful, right? I just want an outline of orange. So this is where a steady hand comes in handy, because you really just want to follow the outline of the cross. See, and I want to make sure all the orange on the outline is covered. So see? But we don't want it really on the black. We want it to stay here on our orange. Here. Okay, and I typically am not one to lift up my tip as I go through. I like to make sure I get all the way to the edge before I stop my tip, only because you get a steady stream and you don't get bumps where you've connected. And you kind of have to be careful as you're doing this. You don't want to touch it, because all we're doing is just adding just a little shine to our coffins, right? And so I'm not really out to scare people. I'm just out to give people something fun to look at, right? Because I'm not here. This line is not doing very good. I am not here to make things better for other people. I don't want to scare kids, though. Really? I want kids to feel comfortable coming to my house and knowing that trick-or-treat time is a fun time. My husband didn't open the doors for trick-or-treaters before I came. We don't get a whole lot here. Not at all, actually. Not very many at all. It looks like I got a crack there. I might accentuate that. So, you know, sometimes there's things that you'll find that's got like a flaw on it after you've got it all created. Like I just found that little tiny rip that I didn't see before. And so there's ways of enhancing that to make it look like it was meant to be there. And if you do it right, you can do it on all your pieces so that it looks like it was part of the design, right? So because we have that at the bottom of the cross, on each one, we're gonna do something fun to make that fun. So give me a minute, let me finish this. And so this is really just decorating what we've done, right? And you can do it like I did before you put it together, and you can come back to do it after you put it together as well, right? So putting it together, let me go up this way, that's much better. Okay. Let me come around. I know I have to concentrate a little bit when I'm doing these straight lines to make sure I don't slip. Okay, so now we have to accentuate that. So let me see what color I've got over here that would work. Purple. Another. No, it's starting up. They're both the same. Okay. I think all I have is a purple over here that will work. So let's throw some purple in here, and we're going to go over here to where we have this squiggly line. Okay, I know nobody can probably see it, but right here coming off, let me shake this and bring my glitter down to the tip. It's been sitting upside down, however I did turn it right side up when I was looking at it, so it did get out of the tip. And I think, okay, well, I think we had like a blockage in there, so let's just kind of drizzle this down and do it the same down here, kind of like a difference, like almost like something's coming out of the cross. So I just want some squiggly lines so that it looks the same, right? We're just putting some squiggly lines, kind of to make it look like it was meant to be, right? So if you find something you didn't really want on there, you can accentuate that. So like, I'm just accentuating the fact that there was a crack. I know there was a crack, you know there was a crack, but anybody else looking at it won't know there was a crack in the paper, right? Because what did I do? I did something to accentuate that, give it a little bit, almost like something different, right? And then if we have some red, and I know I have red everything. Let me see, is that the right red? Rhubarb will work. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill in this crack in the skull, right? So let's finish accentuating our skull. So see how we can fill that in now? And it's filled in, right? And there we go. So we accented that, and what I like to do is kind of throw some drops of blood on my bones. So my bones will have a little design on them. You don't know. Just, you know, it's one of those kind of things where you just kind of go with the flow of it and see how it goes. I just want a nice little design on it to let it pop a little bit. And I'm not putting a whole lot of glitter on it. I'm not putting a whole lot. I'm just putting enough, and I hit. See, this is why you have to be careful with glitter. I wasn't paying attention. And now I'm going to have to fix that here. I have to stop what we're doing, because now I see that. I got to fix it. Now there's a way of fixing it so that it doesn't look like you made a mistake. So I got to clean this one up. So I'm going to pull out my handy wipes. Let me grab one. And they're just the same sanitizing handy wipes I showed you yesterday. I keep a couple packages on hand. They're really good when I'm trying to clean something up. So like, I want to kind of clean this up. And so this is going to dry. It's not going to leave the glue on here. It's going to clean up what I got messy and allow me to fix it, right? So we've got our Starry Nights again. Yeah. Okay, so now I know that it's not going to be perfect on here, but we're going to go ahead and do our little line. Okay, and we're going to clean up our little bit of orange over here. And, you know, there's still going to be a little bit of purple glitter on it. You're going to be seeing it on my door. It's not going to be that big of a thing. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. I can't do anything about getting the actual glitter off. I did get the glue off. And you really got to catch it when you first do it, when it's first wet. The drier it gets, the harder it is to clean up, right? Okay, and then let's put a little bit of blood. See, because this is like, if you're kind of looking at it in the dark, you're going to just see these shines of different colors pop off, right? And let's see what we can do about our teeth, okay? I'm gonna do something with our teeth. Here. Let's pull this out. This isn't perfect silver. I do have silver, but I don't want straight silver, right? I just want to kind of make his teeth look a little bit like they're going rotten. So I just want to kind of put a little bit of glitter on his teeth, make them look like they're rotting. And I probably should have done this before I put it all together, but that's okay. So we're kind of going by the look, kind of like we got on with the black on the coffin. Kind of like it's not completely dirty, but and rotten. It's just got spots, right? And so we're just going to feel it and let the spots come out of normalcy. Because this gold doesn't have very good teeth left, right? And it's really, what do you want to do to kind of make your design a little bit different, right? Because I don't have to put and do anything to it. I am actually going to use this to outline my nose. And as you can tell on the skull, a little bit of anatomy, there is actually no nose in the human body. It is all cartilage. Okay? It's all cartilage. And now we're going to come up and go around the eyes as well. Just to kind of accentuate the eyes and stuff, right? So when the light shines on it, it kind of is spooky and almost glow in the dark because the light is shining on the certain areas and sparkling them. And I'm just trying to make sure I cover the white on it, right? There. Oops, we got a little bit more over here to clean up. There we go. Okie dokie. And then we'll just go down around the other eye. And see how just doing a little bit of enhancement will make a big difference in the product. And by enhancing it, you're now making it your own, right? Because somebody else designed this. They put it together for you to be able to cut. But then what do you do with it? Right? Well, you enhance it. You make it yours. So didn't that turn out gorgeous? I can't wait for that to be finished. Okay? And then I'm not going to do anything with the hats yet because I still have to put that other black piece on them. But let's take and insinuate our spiders on here. Accentuate. Okay, I just want to, you have to be really careful when you're doing these fine pulls along the legs. It takes some practice. I've been doing glitter for a very, very long time. It's kind of like, you're almost like drawing, right? You're following the lines. But they're very thin lines, so you have to be very careful on what you pour out of your bottle, right? And so that's why you see me like almost brushing it on, because I'm trying to keep it just on my spider. And here's the question, do we want to do all our spiders the same color? Or do we want to mix them up? I think we mix them up, don't you? That would make more fun. I think that'd be more fun. Okay, so now I'm just kind of like scattering it over the body, right? Because I don't, if a little bit of the body shows through, that's okay, right? So there's one. Let me see. Can I come up with some other colors? Of course I can. Another, it's a pink. Okay, so we've got some blue, we've got some magenta. I found some frosted lace. Oh, those are really fun. I found a feather. I found speckled pink. And I found silver so far. And let me grab a couple more and see if I can pull any other Halloween colors possibly out of here. I think there might be some in here. Okay, here we go. Okay, we don't want those. Those are all, I don't. Okay, so I have Neo Flamingo, and then I have Sea Glass, and I have Twilight. So I think I'm going to use the Twilight first. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do Twilight on this one. And so basically I'm just going to choose a different color. Okay, hold on. I've got two. Sometimes you have to squeeze a minute to get whatever's on the edge. There we go. And so I'll just take that off with that and we'll be good to go. And all you're doing is, there's sometimes a little tiny extra bump that's kind of stuck together. You're just getting that out so that you can still use your fine tip and be able to pull a nice fine line, you know, like that. And it's just knowing how to pull that line. So you get just a little bit on and you pull it basically down, and what you're doing is you're just basically pulling a string of glitter glue down the leg is what you're doing. See, that's all I'm doing is just bringing down a strip of glitter. It just helps with the ability to be able to pull those small lines. This one's not going to have as much glitter on it. There we go. Here we go. We're going to pull another. And it's just really, you have to put the time in to practice your glitter techniques. It's really important that just because you have the best glitter available, you need to be able to have the techniques to pull where you need to pull for a nice thin line. You know, once I put the glue down, I don't push out very tightly. It's a very small, rough, light touch, not rough, light touch. And here I'm just kind of brushing it on so that we get some essence of that blue. That blue is going to really pop. Let me see if I can get it right off of here without messing anything up. I did, but that, we'll leave those alone. It's just where the legs were and where it moved just a little bit. So if we move them back, they're covered. There we go. Okay, so now I've got 3 more spiders. So let's do, how about magenta on this one? I don't know if that's really a spider color. Magenta. There are spiders. Which one's that one? Let's do tickled pink instead. How about that? Okay. Gotta have pink somewhere, right? I'm a pink girl. There's pink in my house all the time. So let's pull. Okay, I gotta do the same that I did before. Let me push it out. There we go. And you're not really losing a whole lot out of the bottle when you do that. You lose more if you waste it, because you've got to wipe it off of your project. And so all you're doing is just basically pulling a very thin line across your legs. Okay? It's a very thin line. because you want those legs to stay thin, right? So practice your thin lines. Get some glitter. Now I started off just going to the dollar store and getting glitter, and I got it, and now those glitters sit in a drawer for my grandkids to use, and kids that come over or whatever, they have ability to have something to do, right? And they don't mess with my good stuff. See, because I have stickles now. Even though stickles are not cheap, I still don't want my grandchildren playing with my stickles. And that's not to be mean to my grandkids at all. I love my grandkids. And once they have learned and mastered the artistry of doing glitter, they're more than happy to, I'm more than happy to let them use my stickles, as long as it's not being used to waste it. Here we go. Push out. There we go. That was a much smaller one. That was good. Okay, so here we go. Let's do our little legs. It's just a very fine line. It's really all you're doing is trying to get a very fine line of glitter to go. So you just want a nice, pull it along, right? So you get a nice line. This one's not turning out so well. This glitter wants to not work right. Okay, we'll just get what we can on these. There we go. And then we can put a little bit on the body so it gets some shine to it, right? And so, oh shoot, we just turned that upside down and lost a lot of our glitter. See, that's why you have to be careful when you're working with glitter. Let me go back. It looks like my legs pretty much stayed intact. It was really just the bodies that lost their glitter. So let's just enhance the bodies a little bit. And I think that one's fine. Well, let me just pop a little bit on it. The body, main body. I think we need just, oops. Okay, well, I guess we've got plenty for the main body here. Plus, okay. Let me just pull some of that off and put it there. Perfection. Okay, so we have one more to go, and I've got to watch where I'm putting my fingers, and I think I'm going to go to the magenta this time. Oh no, I'm going to do this other neon flamingo on this one. So, I can go like this, and I don't have anything touching, okay? So, let's apply our glitter, and I'll make sure I'm in the picture. I did pull the camera up on this so that you have a little bit more room I have a little bit more room to move within the frame, because I was finding I wasn't completely in the frame. So during the second half of the video, you will probably see a difference in the size of the frame. But that was just so that I could really get, and I think I'll leave it at that height from now on. It's a nice ability. I can get most of my mat in the frame that way. So I'll leave it that high, and there we got our last spider. So now our spiders are done. Look at that. Do we want to do something with the danger? That's what I think I'm going to leave the red for. So I'm going to make sure that I don't put my fingers where there's any spiders. So I know there's nothing on the bottom, and I know I'm safe right here. So let me do quick on, pop it. Okay, it seems to be working fine. So I'm just going to, now it doesn't want to come out. And so I'm just going to do the letters on here. Let's say danger, do not open. And so I'm just going to do danger in this red because it doesn't seem to want to come out nicely, and I don't want to waste it. But I know that they're, oh, I just put my finger in the middle of the spider because I was trying to figure out how I can maybe unclog this and see if that helps. And oh, there we go. Okay, I think I got it now. Oh, and I just did it again. I'm going to wear that spider. Okay. Pick up. I'll redo that spider in a minute. Seems to be my nemesis here. I had a nice even pull when I was down there. Okay. And you just want to be really just doing a nice thin line. I'm not trying to put a whole lot on here. I just want a nice thin line, right? Okay, and then, okay, so there's that. Okay, so we got the danger on there. And then I think in this blue here, this one's called Sea Glass. Oh no, I'm going to use no, crushed pineapple didn't turn very yellow. I don't know if I have any other yellows in here. Let me do a quick check. Oh, here we go. Let's do regular yellow. Okay, so I'm going to pick it up like this. I'm going to hold it like this. Let me get my yellow going. And let's see, do we need to do a push out? Nah, I think we're fine. So here we go. And I'm trying very hard not to shake. That looks more yellow. Do not open. And the end. There. Okay. And now we're going to pull our red back out and fix our spider that I put my big old honking fingers in the middle of several times. It didn't get it on the paper though. That's nice. Okay, here we go. One more lesson on pulling the color. So we're going to put it down and we're going to pull along the little legs, right? You just want to pull along the little legs so we have just a little bit of sparkle on them. Let me wipe off my tip. There's still something on my tip. I cannot lay that down. So we're just gonna, it's just a piece of like cotton or something. Just enough to be annoying. Let me see if I can grab it on my finger and get it off. I think I did. Nope, did not. Okay, it's just gonna stay there till this is over. Okay. And now I'm just going to let everything dry that we did today, so that we can look at it again tomorrow one last time. And once we do that, we will start working on our graveyard. Now, let me see how many minutes is on here. Okay, look, we've taken up 40 minutes, and I know we had like 20 minutes yesterday. So with that said, I want to thank you all for coming. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. If you don't, a thumb down is fine too. Just let us know in the comments below why. If you want to be part of the Sunset Girl Creates, it would be great to have you as part of the family. All you need to do is subscribe down below. If you want to know when we upload a video, all you have to do is switch that button down below, and it'll tell you when I upload a video every time. So with that said, I want to thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.